We'll discuss that. Just wait. Let me close this. Yeah. Before that, let's record this. Right. So what is Python? What is Python? So you know that Python is a programming language. Python is a programming language, but what kind of programming language it is? So generally, programming language can be used for writing coding part for application development. So most of the cases we use programming language code for development of application. So Python is a general purpose. Python is a general purpose high level high level high level programming language. Python is a general purpose high level programming language, we can say that. So what is general purpose high level programming language? So there are few programming languages were there. So like Pascal, COBOL, all those things, Fortran. So that are the specific purpose languages actually, which was developed for specific reasons to develop only scientific computation, scientific calculations, okay, mathematical complex operations purpose. They have generated some languages. So that are the specific languages we can say. But Python is a general purpose high level programming language means so using this Python any kind of application is possible to maximum applications we can develop. So Python is not developed only for specific reason. Python is developed for general purpose like we can develop different types of applications like web application, desktop application, network programming, all those things. So that's what general purpose high level programming language. Python is a general purpose high level programming language. Okay. So using Python programming language, so we can write some logic. We can write some logic to develop some application. Okay. So it's general purpose high level programming language. And Python is object oriented programming language also. Python is object oriented programming language. It supports object-oriented programming features like encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, and inheritance, all those things it will be support. Python is object-oriented programming language and it is case sensitive, case sensitive programming language. Why? Because how the way you declare variables, how the way you created functions, classes, all those things, you have to use same way. So otherwise it will not work out. So Python is case sensitive programming language. Okay. Next, Python programming language was developed by Python programming language was developed by Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum in the year of in the year of 1989. In the year of 1989, but released released in the year of 1991. 1991. So Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in the year of 1989, released in the year of 1991. So at the time of 1991, Python was not popular. Python was not powerful. Why? Because the author developed only in the time Python language was a small scripting language. Okay, it's not completely programming language. At that time, it was not object-oriented programming. It was not some procedural kind of thing. So just normal script language, small kind of script we can able to write using Python at the time of 1991. But that when it comes to Python 3. Version 3.x, we can say that version. So this was powerful now. Why? Because So all features can be supported from the Python language. So including object-oriented, functional-oriented, and the procedural-oriented, all maximum cases, maximum kind of applications we can develop. So that's what Python was so become popular from 3.x onwards. So why Python is strongly recommended nowadays compared to other languages means it's having very simple syntax compared to other languages. It's having very simple programming structure compared to other languages. So very less code we can able to write compared to other languages. We can fulfill our requirement actually. Suppose in where what cases we can use mostly Python in the sense. For example, our requirement is there, our requirement is very small actually. It's very simple. But simple requirement purpose, we can't use large languages like C Sharp.net, okay, VB.net or Java programming language. So we can't use that big scenario of coding techniques. So simple logic purpose, simple requirement purpose. I have simple requirement as soon as early I have to finish the code, so then Python is the better option actually. We can able to develop a quick code, and it's very shorthand way we can able to write, and it's very easy syntax. Everybody can able to read and understand clearly. So that's what Python is strongly recommend nowadays to achieve our requirements in our real-time cases. Okay, so this is what Python general purpose high level object oriented and case sensitive programming language. And most important thing is Python is interpreted. Python is interpreted, not compiler. Python is interpreted, not compiler. So what is interpreter and compiler? Simple, that is. If your programming language is interpreter, then interpreter will execute line by line. Interpreter will check your program line by line. Suppose you are writing the code, you have written the code, suppose 10, 20 lines. The 10, 20 lines, how it will be checked? Line by line only, line by line. So interpreter will check line by line execution, whereas compiler will check whole program at a time. Suppose 10 lines of code I have written in my Python script, but Python is interpreted language, so it's not compiler language. So 10 lines, it check one line, it's okay, second line. In case second line any error is there, so interpreter will stop immediately, then shows that error only. Even though 3 to 10 lines of code you have correctly written, so no matter, it won't check out at least actually, because we got an error in second line only. So that only will be written as an error message. Interpreter will stop that execution. So 10 lines of code, whatever we have written, then 10 lines will be execute line by line and check out and execute completely Python interpreter. But when it comes to compiler, so the whole program at a time it will check. So whatever you have written the code in your editor, so that 10 lines will be 10 lines will be at a time it will be checked. So out of the 10 lines, after completion of checking, so how many number of errors are there, then that many errors will return to the programmer, that is compiler. If there is no error, so compiler will generate after successful compilation one .exe file, then .exe file only will execute in compiler languages. But when it comes to interpreter languages, okay, Python is interpreter programming language. So after completion of checking whole program, complete program line by line, if there is no error, then interpreter will not generate any .exe. Always interpreter will be considered source code only. So that means in Python, completely source code only execute directly, no executable file generations, all those things. So these are the few differences about interpreter and compiler. Interpreter will check line by line, and every line it will be execute. Interpreter will stop the execution when the error is available. Then compiler will execute whole program at a time. It will check whole program at a time. It generate .exe file. Interpreter will not generate .exe file. Interpreted languages are Perl, Perl script, JavaScript, Python, HTML. These are interpreted. And compiler languages are C, C++, Java, and C Sharp.NET. All those things are compiler languages. So Python is a general purpose, high level, object oriented, case sensitive scripting and interpreter language. Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in the year of 1989 and released in the year of 1991. So using Python, we can able to write our code for application development. Sir, okay, Python programming language using we can able to write application code. But what kind of applications we can develop using Python? So what kind of applications you can develop using Python means, so first desktop applications are possible. Desktop applications. Desktop application means these are the standalone applications. Standalone applications. Desktop application means like console applications and just GUI based applications, desktop GUI based applications. GUI based means graphical user interface. Console based means command user interface or character user interface like CUI based. CUI based. So all those things we can develop. So desktop applications that are standalone applications. So these applications only will be run on one particular machine, need not to be maintain internet connectivity. Standalone application actually here. The application where we can install there only will be run. So that is desktop application and console application GUI based completely. Next, what kind of application we can develop? Web application also using Python script. Web applications. Web application means these are distributed applications, all online applications. We can say that distributed or online applications. Online applications. Next, network programming. Network programming. Network programming also. In network programming also, we can write Python script. Python script, and we can design database applications. Database applications. Mostly, Python script can be used. Python script can be used uh, for for data analysis applications. Most of the cases nowadays, Python script were used analysis, data analysis applications. Next, artificial intelligence, where also we can use artificial intelligence and machine learning, machine learning. Here also we can use. So artificial intelligence applications, machine learning, data analysis applications, data science concepts, database applications, network programming, web applications, desktop applications, all in all the area we can able to use Python script. But mostly gaming applications, in gaming application also we can use Python script. Gaming application also we can use Python script. So these are the application area, so where we can use Python script actually. So to develop using Python, we can develop these kind of applications like desktop GUI applications, web application, network programming, data analysis, all those things. Okay, machine learning, especially gaming applications we can develop. So what is Python actually? Python is programming language. How the name it comes actually? So actually the author Guido van Rossum. So when he was started writing a script for Python program, so there was a TV show which was broadcasted in BBC. So Monty Python Circus. So based on that, he has taken the name Python from that circus show, and he has given working title for this for his programming language. So that's the reason Python programming language came like this. So Guido van Rossum uh, Python name was taken from completely Monty Python Circus TV show only. It's taken from TV show and given as a working title at the time of written script from the in the year of 1980s, like in the year of 1980s. And the author was taken some features from different programming languages while developing Python script. Suppose functional programming features from C language onwards, he has taken object-oriented programming features from C++, like scripting language features from Perl script or shell script. Already script things will be there. And like this different languages, they have taken some features, and they have developed some new language like Python, new programming language like Python. So this is the small story why Python came like this, how the name is derived from where it is derived actually here. So, in what kind of where we can use applications? Still, we can see Python script can be used by Google. Python script can be used by YouTube. Okay, so Python script can be used in scientific application also. Okay, scientific application, some DRDO, all those things are still using Python scripting for scientific computing, scientific calculation purpose, and Microsoft, Google, IBM. So also using Python script for internal logic purpose. Okay, because it is very simple syntax and easy to understand, and quickly we can finish our task when compared to other languages like Java, .NET, all those things. So this is the application area we can use Python script actually here. So what are the basic features of Python here? So basic features of Python. Basic features of Python. So these are the basic features of Python. So Python is easy to learn or simple to learn and implement. Okay. So Python is simple and easy to learn. Easy to learn, easy to learn. How simple it is. How simple. How we can say it is simple language. Because syntactically it is simple. Okay, understanding way it is simple, and writing the script way it is simple, and easy to learn and simple to learn actually here. But for example, let us compare. So if I want to write some what we can say print some message, welcome message in my screen. So you are going to write some Java code, for example, Java code I want to write for printing some message to the user. So what we have to do here? So first we have to import packages, import packages in Java. So after that, what we have to do? Class we have to do public class, public class. Class name is suppose my class, my class, my class. It's class name. Open bracket, so public static void main, public static void main. Then here some Java people will write strings array args. This is command line arguments, no matter it is. Then open. After that system.out.println, then we have to write some statement like welcome, welcome. So this is my Java code. This is my Java code. So Java code, to display only welcome message, we have to write like this: packages, class, main method, and system.out.println, open curly braces, all those things we have to use. Same way in C language also. If we consider C language, same way I want to write in C language, sir. You have to be include that header files, hash include, stdioh, stdio dot h. This is header file. Then void main, here void main method you have to write, open bracket, close bracket. So printf welcome, welcome. So this is what C language code. But whatever language, if we take some proper structure and proper rules are there in their languages, but it's very lengthy, So why we need to use these packages and header files and main method, open bracket, close bracket, semicolon? If you miss anything in this language completely, you will get an syntactical error. So that was lengthy of the program. But coming to the Python, coming to the Python script. So no need to class maintain, no need to header files, nothing to worry. Directly we can write in our editor. So print hello or print welcome. That's it. Welcome. No need to close the semicolon also. Semicolon is not mandatory, it is optional thing. So end of the statement purpose. In other language we must and should use semicolon, but it's here now. So only one line we can finish. No class, no main method, no command line argument, so no header files, all those things. So compared to Java and compared to C and compared to C Sharp.NET, any other language which was existed, then Python script is simple and easy. So that's what I'm saying here. One line only we can able to finish our task here. But assume that if welcome statement only we are printing to the console window, but using this C language you have to write these many lines. Using this Java you have to write these many lines. But if you write some like adding two numbers, okay, factorial numbers, some complex operations, then how long code will be increase in C in Java. But Python is very simple. Code will be maximum reduced. So that's what I'm saying. Python is simple and easy to learn. It is very easy syntax when compared to other languages actually here. Okay, so Python syntaxes are very simple. Only that some keywords are available. So that keywords we can able to use. When compared to with other language, we can write programs with less number of lines. So readability and understanding the program is very easy. So we can reduce the development and cost of the project while using Python also, because it is free and open source also very important. So another important feature is free and open source. Free and open source. Anybody can download Python software from Google. It can be used in your applications, no matter it is free and open source. We can use Python software without any license, and it's a free software. So it's Python source code is completely open, so that we can develop our applications based on our requirement purpose. Okay, suppose here some flavors of Python also will be there, like JPython for Java developers, CPython for C programmers, and Iron Python for .NET developers. Some flavors of Python also will be there. So according to their requirement, they can install the flavors of Python into their machines. They can write the code in their own language platform also. So that is possible. Free and open source it is. And next, it is high level programming language. I said high level programming language. It is one of the important feature. High level programming language. So Python is high level programming language. That means it's being a programmer, we are not required to concentrate low level activities. Low level activities in the sense what? Memory management or security issues, all those things. We need not to concentrate on low level activities. Only we need to take care about high level activities, your logic part. Okay. So low level activities in the sense memory management kind of thing, security management kind of thing, garbage collection kind of things we need to take care, but actually we need not to take care because it is high level language. And next, Python is platform independent or class cross platform, we can say that. Platform independent, we can say platform independent. That means once we write a Python program, it can run on any platform without rewriting once again. So if I change platform, I have to rewrite. No need to do that. So cross platform it is. It can be run on Windows, it can be run on Linux, it can be run on Unix, it can be run on Solaris, any other operating system is possible. So platform independent, cross platform, we can say that. Next, Python is portable. Portable. Python is portable. What is portability? What is portability? See, Python programs are portable. That means we can migrate from one platform to another platform very easily. So Python programs will provide same result on any platform. Same result on any platform. If you change your platform, so result will not be changed. So this is called portable nature. We can able to migrate from one platform to other platform easily using Python script. It's a portable nature. And most important thing is Python is dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed programming language. What is dynamically typed programming language, sir? For example, in any other languages like C, C++, C Sharp, .NET, Java, so I want to declare a variable called A10. So this is my variable declaration. 10 is a value, A is a variable, int is a data type. So I have to decide first data type here. But in Python, data type need not to be specified. Why? Because it is dynamically typed language. So automatically, based on your given value like 10, so 10 is given, no? Based on 10, type will be decided implicitly automatically. So that's what dynamically typed language. So in Python, we are not required to declare type of variables. That means data type of variable. So whenever we are assigning a value, based on the value, type will be decided automatically. So Python is dynamically typed language. That's what type will be decided automatically. So we need not to give any data type while declaring the variable. But in other languages, compulsory statically typed language, that is not dynamically. So we have to provide a type at the time of declaration, like int a equals to 10, compulsory how to use in our other languages like C, C++, Java and .NET. Python is dynamically typed programming language. We need not to specify any data type of the variable while declaring. So it is dynamically typed. Okay. Next, it is both procedure and object oriented. It is both procedure, procedure, procedure and object oriented. Object oriented. Procedure and object oriented. What is procedure and object oriented? So Python language supports both procedure and object oriented. Procedure oriented means like C, Pascal languages. Object oriented means like C++, Java and C Sharp features. So we can get benefits from both like security and reusability, all those things. And we can write our only without security also we can write our code directly. With security also we can write code directly by adding some extra features with object oriented features. So this is procedurally we can write and object orientedly we can write. Object oriented means completely it depends on class and object, private accessibility, public accessibility, all those things. Restriction way we can able to develop our code, or without restriction directly you can write your procedure and execute and use that no matter it is. So both it will be support both procedure as well as object oriented. Next, as I said, Python is interpreted. Interpreted. Python is interpreted. It's not compiler. So we are not required to compile Python programs. So internally, Python interpreter will take care that compilation, all those things. So if compilation fails and interpreter raised syntax error actually. So once compilation success, then what will happen? Your Python virtual machine will be there, like how Java virtual machine that will take responsibility to execute that code actually, interpreted language. So just now I talk about interpreter and compiler. Simple interpreter will execute line by line and give the result. Interpreter will check line by line only, whereas compiler will check whole program at a time. Interpreter will not generate any .exe file. Compiler will generate .exe file. Compiler languages are C, C++, Java, .NET, and interpreter language are Python, Perl script, VB script, all those things, HTML. Next, another feature is extensible. 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 What is extensible? We can use other language programs in Python. That is called extensible. Yes, we can use other language programs in Python. The main advantage of this extension approach is we can use already existing program, existing non-Python code also, and we can improve performance of the application also by extending our existing programming language script into our Python code. So that is extensible. If you write, I told you that some flavors are there like C Python for C programmer, J Python for Java programmers, Iron Python for .NET programmers. So using that they can extend. Using that we can extend our logic actually. So programmers they can write their logic part in their own languages. They can extend with Python script also. So next, uh, embedded. Embedded. Embedded means embedded. So what is embedded? We can use Python programs in any other languages. We can embed Python programs anywhere. We can bind Python script anywhere. That is embedded, we can say that. And most important thing is Python supports huge standard library. Huge standard library. Python supports huge standard library here. So library in the sense built-in functions, built-in things, all stuff will be automatically installed when we install Python software. It supports huge standard library. So Python is having built-in library that is hugely it is available. Once we install Python software, all libraries will come and stored in your machine. Then we can able to use while application development. So as a programmer, we can use this library directly and we are not responsible to implement the functionality, all those things, predefined functionality which were implemented by Python people. So we can use in our application here. Okay, so this is Python features actually here. These are the most important features of Python. Simple and easy to learn, free and open source, high level programming language, platform independent, portable nature, dynamically typed and procedure oriented, object oriented, interpreted, extensible, embedded, huge standard library. So these are the features, and these are the, yes, embedded means just now I told we can use Python programs in any other languages. Embed, that means bind, added. So that is we can embed Python programs in anywhere. We can write your Python script and anywhere we can include. Suppose, you know, in our cases, embedded system mechanisms also MATLAB or what we can say, all those things also Python script can be used for maintaining digital circuits also. So in that case also we can use somewhere, anywhere we can use Python. That is called embedded kind of thing. Yes. So MATLAB, all those things purpose we use people C language program script through it will run. Okay, but now we can use Python script also. It is possible. So these are the features, and important application development area using Python is what? Desktop applications like console means CUI, completely character user interface, and graphical means GUI, that is GUI desktop applications like some controls or design will be there, labels, text boxes, all those things. Then web application also we can develop using Python. Web applications, yes, web applications we can develop, and database applications we can develop, data analysis applications, artificial intelligence also possible, artificial intelligence, robotic, automatic process. These also we can use in this area. Also we can use Python script, and machine learning and gaming applications we can develop. So these are all many advantages, you said Python, but some small drawback of Python also there. So what is the drawback? So drawback is up to now, as of now, using Python script, we can't develop any mobile applications as of now. But in future, we don't know. But as on today, so mobile application possibility is not there using Python. It's one small drawback. And another drawback is, so performance wise, not up to the mark because it is a interpreted language. Interpreted language. It takes a lot of time to check line by line, but it's a programmer part. It's good, okay, because of each and every line is going to be checked, and immediately that line will be show error. So debugging is very easy in Python, but due to that interpreter nature, so performance wise is not up to the mark actually. Performance wise, it's not up to the mark. So that's what mobile application also is not possible to develop using Python. So these are the some basic drawbacks actually. Due to these two drawbacks, so no matter it is scripting language, no, that's what its performance wise it's slow. But when it comes to hello, tell me, just wait, I'll show you. Hello sir, can you please document this all point? Yeah, I have already document. Okay, no doubt at all. I'll share that entire the document to you. So soft copy of material is there, and all recorded videos will share after finishing the class. No worries at all. I'll take care about that. Yes. So these are the basic things of Python, which I include features and application development, and when it was released, and what came into the when actually version was came into the picture, released in the year of 1991. But here the feature versions of Python when it comes to here. So actually in the year of 1991, Python was version called 0.9.0, 0.9.0. After that 1.x, 2.x, now 3.x. Why I'm giving x means here in place of x there are so many numbers we can include, because of there are a lot of subversions are there. 1.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 2.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are right now in 3.7, 3.7.1 also there, 3.7.2 also there. We are right now 3.7.3. So these are the version. Latest version of Python software is 3.7.3. 3.7.3. So many versions are there. I'll tell you versions. For example, you can see these many versions are there, but in Python. But we can't say all sub versions also including. So these are the versions are available in Python. You can see this. These are the versions of Python. Now, Python 0.9.0. It is officially released Feb 20 in the year of 1991. Then later so many subversions are there. And 1.0 1994, again subversions. 2.0, again subversion. And you can see Python was not so popular up to 2.0. When it comes to 3.0, it becomes so popular because maximum features were added into 3.0. So right now we are in 3.7. So 3.7.3 software I'm using. Okay. So these are the basic versions we are using. But sir, how to get starts with Python program? It's very simple, man. So you have to be go to Google first, and what we need to do in the Google. So download Python. That's it. Only download Python. You have to type download Python. It's a free and open source, no? Download Python. That's it. Whenever I download Python, you can see this download Python, download Python. So you will have the official link for Python. So www.python.org. You just click on it. So you just click on it. Now you can see this. This is the latest version of Python. Download Python 3.7.3. So when you click on it, it will be quickly downloaded, no matter it is. So within 1 minute of time, you can able to install. So currently I'm working as BA developer and new to, just wait, and new to programming language in the project real time. How we get requirements for development. Hello. What I'm not getting. Currently, I'm working as BI developer and new to programming language in the project real time. How do we get requirements per developer? Yes, yes, we can. Uh, is there any option to implement a Python script? Then we can able to learn. But we have to learn. That's what you don't have any language programming language knowledge. You have to learn that. So in requirement in real time, in the sense based on the company requirement, they'll ask to develop something using Python script. You have to write the script. That's it. So in project development also we can use completely web application development also using Django framework. We can develop web application using Python script only. So that's the purpose actually. Next, you can see once I downloaded Python 3.7.3, so it will be downloaded and within the download folder, you just see this. I'll not install, but I'll show that already which was installed here. 3.7.3 version is there. So you just double click on it. No need to do anything here. So double click on it 3 times. You click next, next, next. It will be successfully installed. So after installation, so how to open this software? Simply go to search and type Python. So you'll have the IDE called IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment. We can say that Integrated Development Learning Environment. This is IDLE software. So this is editor. This is editor. If you want to write Python script, all the any programming language script, editor is required. Editor is required. Editor is a tool which is used to write Python code and edit Python code. We can able to execute Python code. So as per your requirement. So let's click on IDLE. So whenever, as soon as I click on IDLE, so I can get some window that is called interactive mode. Interactive mode. So how to write Python script here? You can see this is interactive mode. So before that, let me show you quickly. So there are several ways to write Python script. One is using interactive mode. Using interactive mode. Using interactive mode. Next one is using script mode. Using script mode. Using script mode. Next one is using Python IDLE. Just now I open, no, that is Python IDLE. Next, using PyCharm editor, PyCharm editor, PyCharm editor. These are the basic way to write your Python script. So no matter what editor we can use, any editor we can use. But in our class, I use always PyCharm editor. So why PyCharm editor? Also, the reason I will tell you later. So first one is using interactive mode. Using interactive mode in the sense after installation of Python software. So whenever we open Python IDLE, so as soon as I click on IDLE, so one window is open that is called interactive mode. Interactive mode in the sense as soon as you are interacting with this window, so while typing the code, here you can see this. So press enter, output is coming. So you want to add two numbers like in A value 10, B value 20, and a plus b, you can type it, you can able to add it, or else 34 plus 45, you can add it like this. As soon as when we type the code and enter, so code will be executed, clearly it is coming. So this is called interactive mode, we can say that interactive mode. So no need to write complete Python script, no need to save anywhere, directly you can able to type and enter, type and enter. This is interactive mode, we can say that. So other way is script mode. Script mode in the sense, this is using script mode. That means you have to write your proper script in particular location. After that you have to be save your file. Then after that you have to load that file for executing. For example, I want to show you one simple example. So can I put a series of code and run it in interactive mode? Yes, we can do that, no problem. But yes, series of code we can able to put, but what code, series of code, suppose if condition you are writing, if condition, else condition, after completion of block only code execute, yes we can do that undoubtedly. But here only one line statement I have given, no, that's what the code is executed, result is obviously coming. In the series of code, some, yes, block of code, some after completion of blocks only, when we call the function only it will execute, no, so that case we can use undoubtedly. Now I'm trying to work with script mode. Script mode in the sense I'm just open a plain notepad. It is also one editor. So I'm writing my Python script, print. I want to show just one statement. Welcome to Durgasoft. Welcome to Durgasoft. I'm writing. So this is my Python script. How I know this it is my Python script. So no matter it is, you just click on file and save it. So while saving, so you have to save this file with the .py extension. So .py is Python script file extension. So I save it in my desktop. So test.py I saved successfully. So in my Python script programming, welcome to Durgasoft is there. Now you can see once I successfully saved, here it is available. Now the thing is my script file is ready. I have to execute this. So how to execute it is using command prompt, we can execute using your IDE, Python ideally we can execute, both the ways we can perform. So first let's try with command prompt. So just go to command prompt, just go to command prompt, normal command prompt, it is Windows command prompt, okay, there is no Python command prompt, all those things, no Windows command prompt. So my file is located in desktop, so let's quickly move to our desktop location, cd space desktop, change directory. Now it's changed directory. Then after that you want to run Python code, so you have to be type python space what is your file name, test.py, then enter. So we got an output like this, you got an output. Or else this is another option also, py space test.py, anyways it can be run, py space test.py. So Python space your file name dot py, then or else Python py space test.py, we can say that. So completely it is going to execute. Welcome to Durgasoft. It is coming clearly. So this is what Python script running under command prompt after writing script mode. Script mode in the sense I have written notepad code. Same script code can we able to run on Python ideally? Yes, it is possible. Let's open Python ideally. So this is interactive mode, no? Interactive mode, no? So here existing file I have already, then I want to open it. How to open it? So file mode, then open. Choose your file where it is available. So it is available in my desktop actually. Let's go to desktop and quickly select test.py and open it. So immediately it's open whatever we have written your script file. Welcome to Durgasoft. If you want to run this, simply run menu and run module. So it's going to be run. This is what another way to write the code and all. So this is called script mode, we can say that. Next, last, another one is what? Using Python ideally. Using Python ideally in the sense, directly you can go to Python ideally. There only we can create script file, new file. No need to type in the notepad, all those things. There only we can write script file. Like I'm generating script file in Python ideally directly. File menu, new file. New file means I'm writing the code here, just for sample. This is my logic. Then print C. This I want to write. This I want to write. So this is my code. After writing your Python code in ideally, so don't forget to save. Compulsory save is required. Without save, if I run, what happen? You can see this run module. so it won't be run. Source must be saved. Okay to save. Okay means it will be asked to save. Save the file with sample.py. Again, it's in my desktop only. So let's save it, test.py. So now click on save it. Now test.py saved, and after that it's executed clearly. So this is what Python ideally also directly we can go and create your file and run your file clearly. So this is possible. So this is using what mode? Python ideally. Finally, using PyCharm editor. So what is PyCharm editor? PyCharm editor is the best editor for Python beginners. Okay, it's more IntelliSense option. Graphically, it's look and good, look and feel is good, and easily we can manage our code. Okay, because of IntelliSense options, and debugging facilities also very easily in PyCharm editor. So PyCharm editor you have to use. PyCharm editor. PyCharm editor easily we can manage our script and all. It's more graphical than other editors. So let's go with PyCharm. So after installation Python software, so PyCharm also will be installed? No. So it is separately how to install. So how to install PyCharm? It's also very simple. So just simply go to Google, and in the search box type download PyCharm, download PyCharm. So download PyCharm. So once you download PyCharm, this is the official link actually. So www.jetbrains.com. So this is the official link for PyCharm editor. So click on it. So there will be two options are available. So full featured web development for Python, and community version also. You can see this two versions are there. Professional for both scientific and web Python development with HTML, JS, and SQL support. It's a free trial version. It's a licensed version. But for core and advanced Python purpose, community for pure Python development, free open source it is, free open source. So anyways, anyone we can able to use, no matter it is, it will be work out here. So community version is there and professional version is there. Professional version is free trial version only. Using this, we can develop your web applications like Django framework, core and advanced Python script also we can write. But here community purpose, only we can write your core and advanced script completely free open source. You just click on download it. So once you download successfully, then you got the software executable file like this. Let me show you. So this like this you can get this file, PyCharm community edition. So you just no need to do anything while installation. Double click on it, and three times you just click on next and say okay. So it will be successfully installed. So after successful install PyCharm editor, so how to I open? So simply go to search and PyCharm. So like this way we will get icon JetBrains PyCharm community edition. So when I click it, it will be open here. But in this PyCharm editor, first time, so I have to create one project. We have to create one project. You know, project is nothing but collection of programs, collection of files. So here we have to add more number of files, Python files to your project. So once I start open the project, once I start open PyCharm editor, so we have to add some files to PyCharm project. So any number of files we can able to add. So I will show how to create project first in the PyCharm editor. Then after that, you can add a number of files and execute clearly. So PyCharm is the best editor. In our continuation sessions also, we use PyCharm editor, not in Notepad, not in Python ideally. Using interactive mode, we can use some basic structure of programs. Okay. So using interactive mode also is possible every Python script, but that much of easy not, because you have to handle very big programs in object oriented programming. So that time you may get some little bit complex. So better to use PyCharm editor. That will be good actually. So we can write your script file as per your requirement. We can automatically, it will be saved into your project. So we can able to load that. So I will show just how to write sample program in PyCharm editor. So from now onwards, we use PyCharm editor only. But in tomorrow's session, I'll tell you why we should use PyCharm, why not Notepad. Also, I'll tell what is the reason actually. Some basic reason is there. So that's what I'm using PyCharm editor. So this is PyCharm editor. So in your case, when we open PyCharm editor, like this, it will not open. So blank window will open. Immediately you have to create project. Then after creating project, add some Python files. After adding files only, we can able to start your programming part. Yes. So now you can see I'm going to create new project here first time. So click on file menu, new project simply. So you can give the project name, whatever you want. I'm giving Python project, Python project at 6 a.m. I'm giving Python project at 6 a.m. So let's create. That's it. My project name is Python project at 6 a.m. Once I created Python project at 6 a.m. So project will be ready, but we don't have any files right now. So how to add files? Let's show you. Just right click on Python project at 6 a.m. Then add Python file and execute. That's it. It is very easy. Like any number of files you want, you can add it, no matter it is. So execute it. So this is clear cut. Can you increase your zoom size? Yeah. I'll do that. Sir, what document have you? Have your own prepared notes of? Uh, yeah. That's my own way to prepare notes. We have notes, or it has in generic PDF prepared. Oh no. Durga sir video is that is Durga sir document is different. My programming videos my videos are there, and Durga's are videos are there, and that PDF also there, and my PDF also I'm giving to you, all those things. But pattern is concepts are ultimately same, but way of teaching, way of what we can say explaining might be any person different to different. Okay, you can't compare, that's not good also. Yes. Now you can see this Python project at 6 a.m. This is project name. Right click on it, and you can go to new and Python file, and file name I'm just giving any file name test here. .py is not not mandatory, so click on OK. So I want your nodes. No problem, we will send it to you, no problem at all. But anyways, material is good from Durga Soft. Okay, you have to read it. Now you can see here I'm writing program, just whatever you want, you can type it, just print hello. After writing my programming, how to run this R? So simply you can see right click on test.py and run test. So it's clearly run the program, and console window is available in the bottom corner. You can see this console window is available, or else you can go to run option and run test like this. And if you do mistake in this editor, so what happen, you can see this after that when I execute this immediately, that error also will be available in the console window, so easily we can able to trace out. So the thing is, in the PyCharm editor, when I type a PRIN, so some print option is coming automatically in IntelliSense. You need not to get any confused. So that's what I used to always use PyCharm editor, uh, not Python ideally, not Notepad editor. Why you should not recommend Notepad editor, I will discuss in tomorrow. What are the cases are there? Okay. So this is about first session, introduction session, just basics of Python, features of Python, and what are the versions, and when it was developed, what kind of application development using Python, how to start Python programming. It's very simple. Okay. So do you have any doubts? Please type in your chat box so that I can get it. So our sessions will be continued from tomorrow onwards, as usual, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Indian time morning. Sharp 6 a.m. I'll start the session, 6-5 around, and after that up to 7 a.m. I'll take the class daily 1 hour 15 minutes. Slowly will increase the session, and every day you'll get a recorded video after completion of a session. Okay, that's all from my side. Yeah, document we have, how I can show, we have documents, you can see this around 220 pages document. These are the sub documents, and main document we have. This is our document. installation steps and keywords, data types, all those things we have. Like this, according to concept, I prepared that, okay? No matter it is. We have documentation, all those things we have. I'll say to all my students, I prepared for you only, not for me. Okay, I need to say it. No need to worry about how much you want, you can. Information too much is there here from Durgasoft related to Python. You can get that no matter it is. So any more questions? I am BA developer. Learning Python will helpful. Yeah, 100%. Learning Python script is always helpful. No worry about that. Learning is not waste. Yes, yes. So shall I leave that? Yeah. So thanks for attending my session. So have a nice time. So tomorrow also we'll meet same time 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. So we will continue like this. Okay. Have a nice time. But make sure that tomorrow 6:05 within 5 minutes we have to be in online. So immediately we'll start because we don't have time. So we should go to office again. Okay. Yes. How many classes it will be finished? No, this is first class only, man. This is first class only. Django also will cover later, not now, but after core and advanced Python. So if you have any more doubts related to course, you can contact with our people. They'll explain clearly, no matter it is. Okay. So for this core and advanced Python, it takes minimum 45 to 50 sessions, 45 days. Yes, 45 days, surely. Okay. Right. Yes. Yes. 5 classes, 7 for a week. No, no. Depends on situation. Actually, I'm ready to take from Monday to Saturday sessions. Only Sunday will be the holiday. But in very rare cases, Saturday might be cancelled. Any prerequisite for this? No requisite, nothing. If you don't have prerequisite, that will be good for understanding Python. No, data analysis part will not touch. Only core and advanced Python. You can get that what we can say course curriculum, content from our Durgasoft. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Core and advanced only, not Django including. Right, right. So any more doubts, please ask to our admin people related to doubts in the sense not related to subject. Subject doubts I'll give every class after 10 minutes. I'll be there in online, so you can able to ask anything. Okay. Yes, yes, you can contact to how you got the mail. You have a class like this, same mail you can able to revert back, so they'll get that information also. You missed today class, no worries at all. Okay, so immediately this session was recorded. No, our people will send whoever attend today's session. Immediately they'll send recorded video to you today only. You can watch it and join in tomorrow. That will be good. Yes, NumPy concept I'll cover. NumPy with the dimensional and all those things I'll cover. Yes, yes. So have a nice time. Tomorrow we'll meet at same time. Bye bye. Take care.